Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily. Thursday's here. We've arrived at the back end of the week, we'll call it. And then today I want to have a discussion about the idea of what I call flash milestones. Now, flash milestones are interesting. It's essentially the proof that you have that you're not wasting your time in dark work. Because let's be honest, when you're doing dark work, you're behind the scenes getting after it. It can get arduous. It can feel endless. Like if you have no markers for progress, like what shows you've actually got from one point to the next, you just pop up and go, I'm still not where I want to be. And in my life, I've had that happen. I've had times where I'm working diligently towards something. Like at one point, I want to start this business, right? The speaking, coaching, consulting business. I would find myself sitting for actual 16 hours sometimes at Starbucks. I would open Starbucks and close it. I would go to the bathroom there. I would be there all day long. I would only go home to sleep. And it was when I was single and I divorced, my wife, and we were in, different places, and she'd have the kids for 4-day weekends. And I would literally go to Starbucks. I'd drop them off to her, go to Starbucks, and I would close it down and open it up. They got to know me really well. But the idea was this, is I would get to the point where I'm toiling away for a month doing this. And I never saw progress. Why? Because my only progress marker was, am I finally making revenue with this? Am I making impact with this? And I didn't for a long time, right? And at one point I was like, God, maybe I'd try something else. This sucks. I'm not getting progress. I would make videos every single night called a nightly 90. And I would get no views. It would be this difficult feeling of gosh, is this actually worthwhile? Will it ever turn into something, was the thought. And I put time into it over and over again. I remember I would just, kind of get these points where I would pop my head up and go, I'm getting nowhere. But then at one point I started realizing, you know what? I can't just only be happy with the end destination. I used to own a gym, and I used to watch people lose weight, gain strength, all those things. And the weight loss journey was interesting because there were some people that would finish the journey and actually reach their goals and some that wouldn't. And I have conversations with a lot of people. What I found was there was people that in my journey and my, I was on their journey with them helping lose weight, where those that actually celebrated every single pound reached their goal. Those that only saw that they had not yet reached their goal eventually quit. They eventually went to a wayside, disappeared, wouldn't answer calls, missed sessions, would come back, 5 months later, heavier than they were before. What I realized was the goal was to stop and pause and breathe in a little bit of grace and appreciation for the journey that had been done and traveled already. I actually found myself in moments when I'm sitting this Starbucks stopping and looking at I would go back and go, where was I at 2 months ago? And I would see that I hadn't had the website done or the videos weren't done. And I'd be like, man, I've filmed, 60 videos. Shoot, I've written, 30 emails. Man, I've built a whole website. I've got an app design. I'm like, this didn't exist 60 days ago. Look what I've got done. I would actually go, man, if I can do that, what could the next 60 look like? What could the next, 90 look like? What could the next year look like? And I started enjoying every single day. So the day book entry for me at the time was essentially I would just log and I would write what I'd done that day. A simple little practice of just making notes of stuff I'd done. And then the nightly 90 became sometimes a diary, thinking about ideas and what had taken place. And so what I call these now are called flash milestones. They're intentional checkpoints. They're moments where you surface from your dark work just long enough to see how far you've actually come. You pop your head up, you look around and go, man, I've got this done, this done, this done. And you actually give yourself appreciation for having completed something that most people will never complete. Because when I was doing this, it gave me a little bit more fire and push. The idea is that when we're doing these things of dark work, you're not supposed to only love the destination, but you're supposed to love the day. When you love the day, something magical happens. And for me, I know it's a matter of looking at how far I've actually closed the distance from where I'm at to where I want to go, but also how far I've traveled from where I began. And so today I want you to think about how do you design your life in a way to where you can stop and work towards something, but stop at moments and go, hey, what have I done? How much have I accomplished? Because it gives you a ton of motivation. And when you design these moments of flash milestones, and I literally say I'm doing every 30 days, just stop and pause and lift your head up and go, what have I got done? And take an account of what's been completed. It'll help you because what it does, it helps build the confidence that fuels you to do more dark work. It actually aids that dark work mentality, that dominator's mindset of I've done too much work in the dark to lose in the light. This stuff's not accidental and it's not fake. It's delivered to you in a way that is a gift from yourself. Your past self is giving your future self an amazing gift, or current self, your future self, an amazing gift because you've done the things in the moments you didn't want to do them to create a life you didn't think was possible, but it's here now. I can't give that to you. but you can give it to you. But in order to continue that journey, you must have moments where you just stop. And I say flash like this. When I say dark work, those moments of just straight dark, but a flash is that blink of light that's super bright that shows up in the darkness. It's like flashes like, oh, farther along than I was. Those little milestones are critical for your progress. So at one point in time, you don't just have to flash, but you're a bright light. So I want you to have a dark work day book entry today of what are some milestones you've met in at least the last week and the last 30 days. Just take a moment to write down, what have I done? What's been completed? What am I proud of? What was a hard thing I moved past that most maybe don't move past, or I had to move past for a long time? What is the thing you've actually moved yourself into where you can stop and breathe and take a look and go, man, I did that. You feel proud of yourself. Because when you have a lot of those moments stacked, eventually you'll show up at the doorstep of your dream. So my friend, start logging your flash milestones. If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it, because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find them on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the Dark Work.